What do we think? I love it. But I'm gonna make a hat today. I found this hat at a thrift shop, 12 bucks. It was like, I mean, you can't beat that. It fits absolutely perfect. Oops, it's on backwards. I love that it has this string attached. So when I'm riding my bike on the playa, it stays on. And also, if I need to take it off, I can do that. Yeah, so I've got some things. This is actually a belt from a trip to Peru. I picked this up. So we're gonna tie that around it. And then I have some other like random pieces of jewelry. I think this is actually something that is supposed to like go on your head. I think this is a headband also because it's like got stretchy stuff here. And then this is another one of those kind of head chains. So it's like supposed to like go on your head. And then I have like a little snake pin. Sorry, I've got two cameras up here, so I'm kind of showing both. And then I have some pom-poms, trimmed pom-pom trim. And I bought this bag of like you couldn't even pick the colors. It was just like, we're gonna send a bunch of random colors. So I've got all these pom-pom trims, but I've already picked this chartreuse color because it matches the band that I got in Peru almost perfectly. What else do I have? Zip ties and my hot glue gun. Since I already picked this trim, I'm gonna do that first and not put the rest of the stuff on it yet, so it's not in the way. I feel like I'm on an HGTV show. And I got a bag over here, Air One, of course, for my hot glue to drip on so it doesn't get on the table. And we're just gonna start putting this on. We're gonna start at the back, except I need to get some scissors, and cut off some of this. Okay. Oh, this makes me nervous, but it's hot glue, so if I fuck it up, I can just peel it off. It's fine. All right, let's see if she's hot yet. Not yet. Let's see. I also have some tassels. Random little tassels I may put on. I bought some red ones too, but I can't find the red ones. And then I bought another pack that has just a whole bunch of colors in them. I think this like whole pack was probably 10 bucks. And I think these were probably 10 bucks as well. Oh, and I have this necklace too that I may fasten on here somehow, or I may wear this necklace, who knows? Still deciding. All right, the hot glue is ready. All right, here we go. First point, starting in the back of the hat. So it starts and ends in the back of the hat. I have to make sure all my pom-poms are facing the right direction so that when I turn the hat over, they'll be hanging like that. So I think I'm just gonna do just like a couple of dollops every little bit. Let's see if I'm good at talking and working at the same time. This will be my third time to Burning Man. I don't go every year. My first time was in 2019, and then the pandemic happened, so it was gone for basically 2 years. There was Rogue Burning Man, but I wasn't interested in that. Then I went 3 years ago to the Dust Burn. It was so hot and dusty, and it looks like it's gonna be hot and dusty again this year. So we're preparing. Usually, where I remember my first year, it would get really warm in the afternoons, like in the 90s. And then in the evenings, it would get in the 50s. And so you would have to wear a fur coat. And I love wearing a fur coat. A faux fur coat, that is. And I don't know if I'm gonna even get the chance to wear the fur coat this year. Look, it's already shaping up. These, I think, will naturally start to go down. Have any of you guys been to Burning Man before? I feel like there's always really strong opinions about Burning Man. Either people are like, fuck that shit, or hell yeah, I want to go sometime. But it's fun doing all these little crafty projects. I mean, if you like to do crafts. I love getting there and seeing all the things that different people have made, because everyone has like a very, very different style and way of dressing. I mean, just like in the real world, but or one like style that's really popular is kind of this like steampunk style. I feel like that's very classic Burning Man. And then there's like more like tribal kind of style. And then there's rave style, where you're like in like bright fluorescent colors. Mine is more like desert shaman daddy. It's been a long time since I've used a hot glue gun. I always forget how expensive it is to go to Burning Man too. I was like, oh, I've got most of the stuff. Like, I don't really have to do a whole lot with like buying new looks or costumes or anything. I have so much shit in my Burning Man and dress up closet, which is true. I don't really have to buy any more for that, except for making just like a few fun pieces like this. But the other stuff is so expensive. Like you have to, you have to be completely self-reliant. So it's like going to camp in a desert. So you have to bring in anything that you might need. So lots of camping shit and food and snacks, your own water, all that kind of stuff. And it just, all that stuff starts to add up. And I'm also camping with a camp. I've always camped with a camp. I went with the same camp the last 2 times I went, and this time I'm going with a new camp because my old camp has kind of disbanded. But I'm super excited because I knew who this camp was before, and there's a handful of people that were part of my old camp that are going with this new camp. So I'm super excited. I'm a little disappointed because my 2 best friends are not going with me this year. So I'm kind of going alone and just acquaintances with the people in my camp, which is fine. It just means it will be a whole new kind of experience. And I think it'll actually allow me to meet some new people. And I think that is part of the fun of Burning Man, is meeting new people. And the other thing I want to do when I'm making this is make sure that it's really secure with this hot glue, because you don't want MOOP, which stands for matter out of place, because everything that you take into Burning Man you have to take out. And at the end of the week, that means like no sequins, no feathers, like anything, like rhinestones that might fall off. Those are all kind of bad things, because at the end you'll have to pick up everything. You pick up everything around you. So like my camp will do like a whole MOOP sweep at the end. We basically do a grid where we all stand in a line and we walk one direction. We go along and pick up like every sequin, every feather, every rhinestone, any piece of trash, and take it out with us. And then the Burning Man organization actually goes through and gives your camp a rating to say whether you did a good job or not of picking up your MOOP. And then the Burning Man organization also goes back through and does the same thing after everyone has packed up and left. I'm so curious when it rained a couple of years ago, how that worked, because that seems like it would have been extra difficult. Expensive. And then the first year that I went, I didn't go with any friends. I knew one person, and it was about a month before Burning Man, and they're like, hey, I have an extra ticket. I know you had said you were interested before. Do you want to come? And I was like, hell yeah, I'll be there. And I didn't really know anybody. But I met lots of fun people, and which is why I keep going back. The other thing that I am excited about this year for Burning Man is that you have to take a bike, because the thing is like really spread out. So like to get from one side of Burning Man to the other side is like, it would take, like if you go in the outer circle of Burning Man, it takes 45 minutes by bike. So if you didn't have a bike, it would take you really long time. And I'm very excited because I bought an e-bike this year, about 6 months ago. I live here in Venice Beach, and so I ride it on the beach all the time. But I'm gonna take it to Burning Man. So it'll help me get around a lot more. Because one of the other things I really want to do this year is go see a lot more of the art that's out in the deep playa. Because there's always these huge, huge art pieces. Are there 55 plus? Yes, that's one thing that I love about Burning Man. It has no age limit. I turned 47 this year, so I'm pushing 50, dude. And I would say everyone in my camp, most of the people in my camp are 35 and older, but there's tons of camps that have older contingencies. Like it's not a thing, and people don't look at you weird when you're there, like you're too old to be here. In fact, I actually have a little bit of reverence for the older people at Burning Man because they have more experience. And the other thing that I think kind of allows someone of any age to go to Burning Man is it's definitely like a choose your own adventure. Like there's no one thing that you have to do. Like some people go and they are really into the music and they have a list of DJs that they want to see. And so they go try to hit all of these parties that have particular DJs. Some people are really into the art, and that's really all they want to do is they just want to ride around and look at all of the art. And then camps always have to provide something for the playa, and that could be anything from, like one camp does breakfast tacos every morning. Another camp does grilled cheese for lunch. Another camp is a massage camp or a spa camp, and so you can come in and they have like lavender aromatherapy, and you can get like a quick massage. There are workshops, yoga workshops, lockpicking workshops. I mean, there is anything and everything. This is not like a typical festival. This is not a Coachella or anything like that. So I love that. I love to dance though, so I love to go listen to the music and just dance my little ass off. I'm in California and LA, so it's a little easier for me to get there. So I rent a truck here in LA and then I drive to Reno and then out into the desert of Nevada. It is a little bit harder if you're flying in because you're just constrained by how much you can pack in a bag or bags, depending on how much you want to pay for your bags to get here. Some people order all their stuff or bags and then they ship it to Reno and then pick it up there. And then some people will just come with a little suitcase and then they just run by, Walmart or Costco or whatever to grab the rest of their supplies once they're in Reno. Honestly, I can't believe how smooth this is going so far. The other thing I love about Burning Man is it really does feel like just childlike play, because you can just, it's like when little kids would dress up in costumes. That's why you see everybody in weird costumes at Burning Man, because everyone is just playing. So you just go into your trunk or your closet or whatever you brought and you just put on the weirdest thing. And I remember the first time I went, I was like, oh my God, this is such a weird outfit. What the fuck am I doing here? Oh my God, everyone's gonna stare at me. And then I was just like, you're just gonna do it. And I walked out, and of course there was like, the minute I walk out, there's someone wearing something that's like 100 times weirder than what I'm wearing. So it's like, it doesn't even matter. No one was looking at me, they were all looking at him. All right, we got the last little piece there. Now we're gonna cut. The other thing I would look for is, especially after this year, lots of people come back from Burning Man and they want to continue to be in community with the people that they camped with. So there's all these little burner events all year round. And if you're in Chicago, especially since you're in Chicago, I know there are Burning Man groups there that do fundraising parties throughout the year. And usually what those fundraising parties do is like, they'll charge you money for a ticket. You go, you meet people, maybe there's a DJ that you dance, and part of that money will go to a charity of their choosing, and then part of that money will go to their camp to raise money for the infrastructure for their campers. All right, here we go. I think these will start to relax. Let me put it on. It's pretty cool, right? And there's other thing to look at, or to look into is some camps have like themes. There might be a camp that's like 55 plus campers, or if you're into a particular hobby, like, or like something like yoga, there might be like a whole camp that's all about yoga. There's like camps that are all gay camps. There's a mobility camp for people that are in wheelchairs. So yeah, there's just something to offer everybody. All right, next. Now that we've got that on, that was the hard part. I'm gonna use this little strap. This is a belt that I bought in Peru, like I said earlier, and has the same kind of chartreuse, dark chartreuse color as the pom-poms that I just put on. I had this on another hat too, that's why it's already tied. So I knew I wanted to put that on there. Oops, just the front. I don't think I'm gonna glue that down because I may wanna use it for something else, and I'm gonna have a pin. Let's see. Like that. Already looking pretty good. Let's put the pin on, a little snake pin. And I gotta decide whether I'm gonna put it on the right side or the left side. I think the right side. It's not working. How do I get that through there? The problem is it keeps bending. I try to push it through. Ugh. I did it before in my old hat. Just to push it through so much at the beginning. Come on, come on. Yeah, it keeps bending. This is really driving me nuts. I really cannot get this through. Okay, let me try this. That worked. Oh my God, you guys, I think it's crooked, but we may just let it go. All right, we've got the snake pin, the little pom-poms, and band. Okay, now what's next? So I have this thing. I also had this on my old hat. And I think it's a hairband, actually, like a woman's hairband. I thought about just kind of putting it on there so it looks like that. I kind of like that. Or, all right, I'm gonna be wearing a lot of turquoise this year, so I'm thinking this might be a fun choice. Except if I do this, I may have to, I don't think it's gonna reach all the way around. I like the turquoise. It's not gonna reach though. Guess I could just hot glue it. Just trying to make sure it's centered. Okay, I'm just gonna fucking hot glue it. I was talking to my best friend last night, and I don't know if you guys watch RuPaul's Drag Race, but I love that show. And we always think it's so funny when someone shows up on that show and they don't know how to sew because there's always a sewing challenge. And when I told him I was gonna hot glue stuff, he was like, "You don't know how to sew?" I said, "Girl, no, I do not know how to sew." I would love to learn though. It was actually another project I thought about taking up this summer, but too many projects. Okay. It's getting better and better. What do we think? What else do I want to put? I also have these, which are like little leaves. Might add this too, just because you can't have enough gold, right? Just gonna see what this looks like. I'm not sure I'm gonna leave it on. I just think the desert is so magical. So I love Palm Springs, I love Joshua Tree. It's probably another reason why I love Burning Man so much. Oh, I kind of like that too with the gold leaves. What do we think? I love it. I love about making stuff on my own is that, where did you get that? And I feel so proud to say that I made it. Oh, the last thing I'm gonna do that I'm not gonna show you guys because I don't have them yet is I'm gonna put fairy lights on this, and they, you know, it just comes with a teeny tiny little because you have to be lit up at night when you're at Burning Man. And it just comes with a little teeny tiny little battery pack. And so I usually just tuck it in here behind the tie and then wrap the lights around here so that I am lit up. I'm lit up on my hat. And then of course I'll wear lights on my body. The easiest way to decorate your hat, if you have no crafting skills, is to just find some sort of cool fabric belt or strap or ribbon. Like just go to a craft store, Michael's or something. Sadly, Joann's I think is all out of business. But that's the easiest way, is to just get that strap. And then I don't know if you were here, but like hair ties like this, like go to a Home Goods or Ross or something and just get like super cheap jewelry. I don't like that, but what about this? I need my fishing line to attach that. I like that though. Maybe like a couple of them, like just to add an extra little something or other. Maybe. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. This has been so fun. Reach out if you guys have any questions. Yeah, have questions about Burning Man. I hope to see you guys out there. Say hi when you can. Ciao.